Life was slow-paced during the 1950s. In towns and villages across Micronesia, people had settled back into the ordinary rhythms of island life.
My mom and I used to come with my dad to Wena, and the buildings, they were concert buildings, and you know the buildings for TTC stores, they had a place where they get copra, they had a snack bar, they had a theater, and of course the warehouse, big warehouse, and the department store itself. I used to just walk in and look around and see all those shelves of goods and all kinds of merchandise.
Karor in the 1950s was a very dusty place because the roads were unpaved. During the dry season, the few cars would kick up a lot of dust.
The transportation was very, very limited in Kushai at that time. In fact, most people traveled by boat. The road itself was like a wagon trail road with two lines and the grass in the middle. You know, that was the road. It was not really much more than a path. But then there weren't that many trucks on the island anyway. There weren't very many vehicles. There were two trucks on that side of the island. One was at Malham village, belonged to the chief Clava, and his truck was the one that had a glass ball for a radiator. He had old drums sitting next to coconut trees every few hundred yards or so going down the road. So they would stop, put in the water in the glass ball, and go on to the next drum. The other truck was in Utwe village. That was, it looked like something like an old army leftover. And it always had four flat tires. And every time they wanted to use it, like for an emergency or something, when they had to pump up each one of those tires, and it was pumped by hand, of course, in those days. So that was transportation.
There was only a few people in Metro in those days. Few cars, few people. Road was not paved. Communication was hard. You have to go to the news ham radio. And restaurant was very rare too, you know. Salesmen used to come and bring their own samples, canned tuna, and then eat for ramen and say, and that's what they had for dinner.
And then they had the commissary where the volleyball court is in Woolgar here. They had the commissary there, and then right next to it they had the freezer plant. They were making black ice as well as, storing all the military food. On top of the hill in the back was the club, the officers' club called the Coconut Rendezvous Club was up there.
But amid this sleepy island existence, there were some changes. Hints of what was to come during the tumultuous 1960s and 1970s. Micronesians were beginning to travel more. They were becoming acquainted with people from other island groups. Pacific Island Central School, or PICS as it was called, brought together students from all over Micronesia. Xavier High School, founded as a territory-wide Catholic school for the better qualified young men, offered the other early opportunity for a high school education. An educated elite was being molded for future leadership roles in the islands.
They learned to work together, Kushayans, Yapis, Chukis, and this was very important for developing Micronesian leadership, because a lot of Micronesians from different parts of Micronesia learned to live with each other. And they became involved in politics. That's how the first Congress got started, because they knew each other.
Islanders were beginning to look beyond their own reef and get an exhilarating whiff of the good life in other places. The stage was being set for the full emergence of the islands into the modern world.